Welcome to the next instalment of Willow World on this beautiful spring day in Sydney. Hi Daniel.
Hi Josh, how you going?
Good, thank you. Daniel Kalnins, who heads our digital business globally. Daniel, a little bit about what you do in the business and your journey to today.
Great, thanks Josh. So one of the biggest things that we help building owners and contractors do is really about getting data out of buildings and major projects, often during the new build process, during the design and construction.
Yeah, design and construction proves to be a very important phase for our owners. And what we've been looking at over a number of years now is to partner with the owners. Daniel, your background is construction. You've been involved in design and construct projects for the better part of a decade. What are some of the things that you find distinctive about the approach that we've taken as a software company, partnering with the owner and the contractor?
Yeah, good question. One of the things I think that we've found really different and try to do differently in the market was that drive something practical, so drive a practical strategy that makes sense, so it's not just useful to the owner, but it's also useful for the contractor and for the subcontractors along the way.
Getting alongside the contractors, working with them through the process rather than just expecting them to change.
Exactly.
Is that sort of what you were doing?
Because otherwise, if you don't help them along that way, then you'll never get to your end goal.
Excellent. Just behind us here in Sydney is a project that Daniel has had the privilege and opportunity to lead over the past 4 or 5 years. It's a project that Investa Property Group started. Daniel, tell us a little bit about your journey with Investa and tell us a little bit about the journey that together with Investa we've taken on 60 Martin Place.
So journey with Investa has been an excellent one, really about a partnership over the last 5 or 6 years. And I think the thing that I really enjoy working with Investa is that they're always trying to drive and push the market. Where it started with Investa was actually on 567 Collins Street.
Right, an asset in Melbourne, Victoria. Right.
Exactly. And where there was data held within the building and Investa wanted to unlock that data so that they could use it in the operations phase.
Very important point. So utilising data that's generated during construction, then when we get to that ribbon cutting, we're not losing that once in a lifetime opportunity. So from that point on, with Investa and the many buildings that we can see behind us, what are the opportunities for the owner as they go into this new world of IoT and digital twins?
Look, great, really good problem that a lot of owners are facing, which is that how do you drive AI, machine learning and all these other smart things? Well, it often starts with structured data. So if you can organise your structured data for generally nil extra cost and time during the design and build process, then you can start using all of that data in operations for user experience, for connecting into third-party applications, or for driving other analytics in that space as well.
Because one of the problems that we've seen in the industry is that whilst there's some amazing apps and new technologies coming to the industry, getting the data out's been an issue. And so, Daniel, not just buildings, we're seeing this. In Sydney alone, a massive amount of infrastructure spend. And I know your background and maybe your journey over the last 6 months is not just looking at the vertical buildings, but also the horizontal infrastructure. A little bit about that.
Well, especially on major road and major rail projects. I mean, Sydney Metro is right here, right underneath us right now. And you've got billions and billions of dollars being spent by contractors to design teams to subcontractors. And now the clients, as the government, are actually saying, hey, we want to create a digital twin. We want this data and we want to make sure this is organised right the way through. Sometimes they just need to work out what is that path to get there.
Excellent. So complex projects, whether they're in new build or as an existing building, all have lots of data that's just not being leveraged today. Next month, we're really excited to announce Willow Rail. All of these projects that Daniel's just talked about, they need a platform. And we'll be launching Willow Rail next month with our joint venture partner Structon. Stay tuned. Thanks everyone.